Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Joanne Hines. Here are a few of the stories we have for you this week. Norma Taylor spoke with Chief Schetting about hurricanes. Kathy Salkowitz had a chat with a computer club representative about computer hacking. And later in the program, Ann Priante visited the Morris Center. Those stories and more coming up. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News. With our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country. Taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
Norma Taylor recently talked to Securitas Chief Schetting about hurricanes. Let's see what she found out.
Well, Chief, welcome back to Sun City News.
Thank you for having me again.
Okay, we have a new set of questions to ask you. And basically, it's regarding Securitas' role and also some summer visitors. The first one is, what role does Securitas play, like during hurricanes, and will they check on your home, etc.? I noticed we just had a tropical storm go by here. What does Securitas do during this situation?
Well, hurricanes are one of the biggest things that we prepare for and plan for. We work with state and local leaders and monitor the storms because, as we all know, the storms, can change quickly. So we want to, I stay in contact with Beaufort County, and then I pass that information along to the association on what they're doing. Other things that we do, if, we get into a hurricane evacuation, we assist facilities with closing gates, putting up the evacuation routes, assisting residents with finding their way out through the proper evacuation route. So there's a lot of different things that are going on when something like that happens.
The OSHA Lifelong Learning Institute, better known as OLLI, is a vital resource to many of our Sun City neighbors. SCTV spoke with Andrea Sisino, USCB's Vice Chancellor and Director of OLLI.
Andrea, we have to thank you because you've chosen to sponsor this first program of our newly created group, Friends of Lifelong Learning. How did that come to be?
I can't imagine a better group to sponsor. How did it come to be? We have a tremendous number of people from Sun City that partake in OLLI programs at USCB, but there's many people that aren't going to come over to the university, and they don't necessarily need to, but lifelong learning is critical to mental health, to aging, longevity, and quality of life. Why wouldn't we sponsor this?
Now, we hear this term OLLI, and I know we have new people, so I'm going to make you do a little fact checking. So now, what is the origin of the OSHA Lifelong Learning Institute, always known as OLLI around here?
Yeah. So back in the 70s, Bernard Osher set up a foundation that is geared for lifelong learning across the country. He set up a network of lifelong learning programs, and they're always at a university. He believed we do our best learning after 50 because we have critical thinking skills, we have some level of education behind us, and now we can come back to topics with a more in-depth lens and say, what did I learn about this? What did I learn about that? And what more is there? And there's certainly a lot more. So there's 125 OLLIs in the United States, and South Carolina over here at USCB is one of them. And we're on all three campuses.
Now, we know you're a good neighbor, and it is exciting to know that of that 125, look at here we right in our backyard. Now, give everyone an idea of the depth of number of classes that you offer. I was blown away.
We're blown away because we don't know how we do it, but we do know how we do it. So we're nearing 2,000 participants in our program around the Jasper and Beaufort region, okay? And so with that, they have a myriad of interests, everything from philosophy to ecology to music to government, you name it, right? So with that, each term, we have about 130 programs per term And each term, 70% of those programs are brand new. So we are considered being in the candy store here of programming because of who has moved here. So like Al Seegers, who's doing the program today, he's somebody who wants to do a program for lifelong learners, and there's so many others that are just like him that want to share their knowledge, their expertise, their passion with those who want to learn it. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Well, I think you've got great salespeople here in Sun City, because I know the day I moved in and met a neighbor, she's like, I'm bringing you an OLLI catalog. Okay, that's the reputation you have. Now, here's the critical part for those who are not enrolled. Let's give everybody how and when do they enroll in OLLI?
Yeah, so if somebody wants to enroll in USCB OLLI, they can go to the uscb.edu website, and we have our own website off of that, and it'll say Osher Lifelong Learning. You go in there, you learn everything about the program. But if somebody doesn't want to go on their computer, frankly, I wouldn't blame them, honestly. I'm sure your program will list the phone number that they can call. We pride ourselves on making connections with people, whether they walk in randomly to our offices on campus, they call on the phone, they go on the website, they send us an email. We're there. We're there to answer questions. And that's the thing, we don't sell our program. I'm not a salesperson. Our OLLI staff are not salespeople. Our job is to make sure that people know this opportunity exists in this community. Columbia doesn't have this lifelong learning program, and yet here we are in little old Bluffton, Beaufort, and Hilton Head, and we've got one of the strongest lifelong learning programs in the country.
Well, you have so many devoted fans. You are a gem, and like a good neighbor, we're so glad you're here.
And we're glad that you're here. It's one happy community, so thank you.
Thank you.
Still more to come. I speak to the organizers of an event you won't want to miss. Are you worried about your computer being hacked? Our SCTV crew got some tips from the Computer Club. And Chris Chase checked out a local historian about the Card House. We'll return after this brief break.
Sun City TV invites you to join our crew. Our growing technology presence requires enthusiastic, creative volunteers. No previous TV experience needed. Email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com.
Thinking about cutting that cable cord, or maybe you already did? Well, then it's a perfect time to get connected with our Sun City TV YouTube station. All our SCTV programming is on YouTube, so you won't miss anything, especially if you subscribe like over 1,000 of our residents already have. Sign in to youtube.com SCTV station. Then click the subscribe button. You're all set.
Lynn McCann, Sharon Quinter, and I chat about the upcoming day of giving, dancing, and singing. Save the date. We'll listen in. Now, we've planned a great event this year, and we want you to save the date. Now, Sharon, tell us the what, the who, the where. Give us all the details, please.
What JoJo's talking about is the day of dancing, singing, and giving. This is our third year having this event, and one of the best years ever. It is sponsored by the Performing Arts Club of Sun City and the GFWC. It'll be at the Pavilion from 2 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday, November 19th. We have dancers, singing, band, and audience participation this year.
Now, that's quite a lineup. Now, Lynn, you are now the president of the GFWC, the General Federation of Women's Clubs, along with being part of the entertainment for this event. Can you give us a brief explanation of the GFWC and how they are committed to this event?
Absolutely. So the GFWC stands for the General Federation of Women's Clubs. And for people who aren't familiar with our club, it's much like the Rotary Club, but it is a club for only women. And we've been in existence for about 125 years. Our motto is service, essentially. So our members do a variety of public service things within the walls of Sun City and outside in our greater community, such things as tutoring children, raising money for important causes, whether it's shelters for women who have been abused or trafficked, or elderly folks. We had a great project last year called Project Lead the Way that's designed to help people who may have a tendency to wander, to have receiving devices that our law enforcement can track them if they ever wander and are lost by their families. And that's a real timely topic in our community right now. So we're a group of fun-loving women that get together once a month to plan activities, and we do social things together as well. But primarily, we are a service organization. This event is so important to us because it falls on the National Day of Giving, and we're committed to that whole idea. And we raise funds as well as collect items for local food pantries.
And can you tell us about the Bluffton Self-Help Truck?
Yes, so we're so excited to have a strong connection with Bluffton Self-Help. We believe in their mission, the great work that they do in the community. So the entrance fee, if you will, to the event on this day is to bring a donation of food that we will put within the van from Bluffton Self-Help. And our hope is to once again fill the entire van with donations from our community.
Well, this year, my community service project group with the GFWC will be providing refreshments with the proceeds going to JARM, the Jasper Animal Rescue Mission, and PAL, Palmetto Animal League. Now, we all know Sun City loves their pets, so mark your calendar for Tuesday, November 19th, for a day of giving.
It's at the pavilion from 2 to 5 p.m. for a day of dancing.
Admission is free. Just bring a bag of non-perishable goods for Bluffton Self-Help, and please help to enjoy a day of singing.
We hope to see you there. Our reporter Kathy Salkowitz talked with Dennis Shea, who chairs our Microsoft SIG, about computer hacking.
Dennis, it seems like every conversation I have recently starts with, well, my computer's been hacked. So can you give us some ideas what we can possibly do to help prevent this?
Yes, the prevention has to do with you having a good, credible virus protection and quite likely, possibly malware protection.
Okay. Well, recently I had what I refer to, or have heard possibly called, the blue screen of death show up on my computer, where it showed, do not turn off your computer, but call this number. Well, I didn't turn off my computer, and I did not call that number. I had Microsoft Defender. So I Googled the number for Microsoft and called, and I had someone who I thought was a helper. And then he got around to how they would want to reimburse me, and that he would need some of my banking details to reimburse me. That's when I hung up. Have you heard of this kind of thing going on?
Yes, and actually it's a bit common. When people get the BSOD, blue screen of death, is used to cover quite a few things. And actually what you saw would be called a browser ambush. Okay. And sometimes you get a voice screaming at you and all of that sort of stuff. And that kind of cybercrime, I think the bad guys make about $350 million a year on that. Wow. Which is a pittance to what all the cybercrime, I think they run about $3.8 billion. So, yeah, I've been hacked, is in a lot of conversations all over the world, period. We're looking at a note I have here. In general, the ambush, we just power off and power back on. And that has been sufficient for some period of time. However, the bad guys are a whole lot more clever now. And part of them being that clever is they advertise tech support on Google and others. So if you search for Microsoft support or something, you are going to get an advertisement that will take you to a phone number where a fellow's going to pretend to be Microsoft. Yes. And yes, I'll help you, or, oh, yes, we need to send you money in compensation. It's all the same crap. Now, the only answer I have for us here in Sun City is we're seniors and we have to look out for each other.
Yes.
And if you had that screen, you would be, welcome to call me or anybody else and just review. It's like, guess what just happened on my computer? And two heads are generally better than one. We got to hang together as seniors. Nobody else is going to look out for us.
That's true.
Believe me. And it may be useful to call the computer club at 1-843-705-5782. The monitor on duty has some instructions on what to tell you to do on a browser ambush.
Oh, okay.
But it's not, they can't go much further than that about searching and whatnot.
By joining the computer club, it gives us access to all of this. Am I right? Still $10 a year?
Yes, it's 10 for the first, 5 for the second in the same housetop.
It's really about the best bargain anyone could get, and to have access to help like this. Dennis, it's not going to be the last interview we have on this because it is an ongoing situation here.
Yes.
But thank you very much for great tips today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kathy.
The Card House in Bluffton has quite a surprising history. Chris Chase met with Glenn Umberger, the local historian. Let's hear what he had to say.
Glenn, this has been a wonderful summer series. The Card House, was it named because they played cards there?
Yes, actually, that's partly true. So the Card House dates to about 1830. Again, we're not quite sure in Bluffton when some of the buildings were built because we don't have building records. So typically you'll see around town circa 1850. This one's a little bit earlier than that, 1825, 1830, built for one of the popes. It gets its name Card House because in the 1840s there was a very notorious game of poker played in the house, and the winning hand included the deed for a 1,000-acre plantation in Hilton Head. So very high-stakes poker game was played here in the 1840s, and it just got the reputation of the Card House, though there was never a card family who lived here. Over the years, the house has been expanded. The current family actually recently got a preservation grant to fix the foundation so the house can continue to stand for the next 200 years.
It's wonderful. It's a beautiful house. It really is. And they play cards. Do you happen to know who the winner was?
I do, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
That's okay. We'll find out and tell everybody later. All right. Well, thank you very much for everything.
Oh, sure. It's been my pleasure showing around Bluffton.
Still much more ahead on Sun City News. Randy Selman is here to give us the latest entertainment news. Our SCTV crew was at the Morris Center for an Indigenous Perspective program. And Doug Wright fills us in on what's happening in sports, so stay with us. On our September Extra episode, we introduce you to our family of SCTV shows. It's an SCTV station family reunion.
Mama told us not to brag, but there's some good stuff we capture on camera that reflects the breadth of our Sun City lifestyle.
Did you know we have shows devoted to our neighborhoods, our sports events, and our visiting authors?
This month on Extra, tune in to get acquainted with In Our Neighborhoods, Sports Done Right, and Meet the Author.
Come meet our SCTV family on cable or on our SCTV YouTube station. Here is Randy with some entertainment news.
Although it is still pretty muggy and warm outside, the fall season will soon be upon us. And like every year, the new season of live theater is also in full swing. The Art Center of Coastal Carolina has a fantastic line of musicals and plays that will knock your socks off. On Wednesday, September 25th, Something Rotten will kick off their new season. The story is set in the 1590s. Brother Nick and Nigel Bottom are desperate to write a hit play, but struggle to find success in the theatrical world as they compete with the wild popularity of their contemporary, William Shakespeare. Lauded by audiences and critics alike, this big song and dance comedy phenomenon was hailed as the funniest musical in at least 400 years. This boisterous, witty musical is anything but rotten. This history-twisting tale makes it clear that nothing is as amazing as a musical. You might want to take note of the other musicals and plays being performed this season. They are 42nd Street. Come along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway. 42nd Street celebrates Broadway, Times Square, and the magic of showbiz with wit, humor, and pizzazz. The Cottage. The true meaning of fate and faith, identity and infidelity, love and marriage are all called into question as a surprising and hilarious web of secrets unravels in this ridiculously funny romantic comedy. Waitress, featuring music and lyrics by Grammy Award winner Sarah Bareilles, Waitress celebrates dreams, the family we choose, and the beauty of a well-baked pie. I'm really looking forward to this musical. And closing out the 2025 season is the blockbuster hit Summer, the Donna Summer musical. The Summer score features more than 20 classic hits that include Bad Girls, She Works Hard for the Money, and Hot Stuff, just to name a few. Summer is an electric experience and a moving tribute to the Queen of Disco. Next week, I will continue to update you with what is happening at other theaters in our area, including the Center for the Arts of USCB, the Lean Ensemble, and the May River Theater. Until then, I'm Randy Selman, and that's your entertainment report. Remember, life is entertaining, so don't miss the show.
Reporter Ann Priante visited the Morris Heritage Center recently and got some fascinating insight on Native American tribes of South Carolina.
So, Kaylee, I hear that you have this pottery exhibit here. Can you tell me a little bit about it and how it ties into the program that's going on tonight?
Yes. So this is the language of clay, and this is an exhibit from the Native American Studies Center, and it's Catawba pottery. Catawba pottery is the oldest continuous art form in North America, made for over 4,000 years. And while this group of Native Americans is located mainly up in the Piedmont of South Carolina, really close to Rock Hill and Charlotte, that area, that's where their reservation is, we wanted to be able to have programming that related to other Native communities in our state. So while most people might come in here and think, well, what does Catawba pottery have to do with the lead factories? Actually, the Catawba actually did go to Charleston quite a bit and sell their pottery to people in the Low Country. But tonight's program, we wanted to focus on the 3 Low Country tribes that we have here in the state of South Carolina. And these are the ones that are state-recognized tribes. Catawba being the only federally recognized tribe in the state. We're going to focus tonight on the 3 of the state-recognized tribes. And there's actually 8 state-recognized tribes in South Carolina.
Wow. And what are the names of the 3 tribes that are coming tonight, the state-recognized tribes?
So we have the Edison Natchez Crusoe tribe, which is our closest geographically to us here in Dashford County, and they are located mainly in Dorchester, Colleton County area. We have the Santee Indian Organization, as well as the Wassamassaw Indians, which are kind of more closely located to the Georgetown area.
And I think people who live here will recognize ancestral insanity. And the third tribe was what again?
The Wassamassaw.
And is Wassamassaw a name that we may have heard of?
Probably more so when you go kind of northeast of here, kind of closer towards like PD region, like headed towards Georgetown, Horry County, the opposite side of the place, as I like to say. But yeah,
great. I think a lot of our viewers will be surprised that there are Native Americans still living here. And I hope we're going to get to talk to a few of them soon.
Yes. I think one of the things I've learned from working here and the different programs we've offered over the years with Native Americans is that idea of, I think most people think that Native people don't exist anymore, or if they do, they all were forced out west or whatever. But there are still national communities that are living and thriving here in the state of South Carolina, whose families have been here for many, 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 many years.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
So that's it from the Morris Virgin Center in Ridgeland. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and they're free, so you should stop by. And they have more than just this pottery exhibit. They've got lots of exhibits and things to see and do about the Low Country. So check it out. They're on the website too. Back to you.
Now let's check in with Doug Wright for some sports news. Doug?
The softball club celebrated the opening days for 4 leagues on August 27th, with opening day ceremonies, fast action in the opening game, which featured the Tuesday-Thursday league finalists from the spring season, and of course, hot dogs. Our team is there to speak to club officers about the upcoming year and to watch some of the activities.
Well, Holly, it's another opening day, and it's been a long wait over a long, hot summer. Tell us what all went on here today.
So we had opening ceremonies. We have all the teams lined up. Of course, we have national anthem. We gave out 2 umpire awards today to Dave Willis and John Hansen, both very long-time umpires here at Sun City, and we appreciate their volunteer service to the softball club.
Okay, and tell me again, I know you've told me before, but how many teams?
All right, well, today we have 9 teams. Tomorrow we have opening ceremonies for our other league, which is a Wednesday-Friday league. We have 9 teams playing in that league. Then we have 6 teams playing on Saturday, and then we have the women's league also playing on Saturdays and Mondays.
Okay, and rumor has it there might be some hot dogs today.
Oh, yeah, Weikert's sponsoring our hot dogs today. So the first 700 hot dogs is picked up by Weikert. So come on out, enjoy a hot dog, and enjoy the day at softball.
Okay, well, it's you've done a great job of organization as always. Got a great board working for you, and we look forward to a great season, a great 4 seasons.
Great, thank you very much.
Many kudos to Holly Meckley for leading the club through a long summer of inactivity, and also to Jim Vandeveer for singing the national anthem, and to 2 of the outstanding umpires, John Hansen and Dave Willis, who received special recognition for their many years of service. Also, as promised, the September schedule of golf clinics to be conducted by club pros Adam Gerlach and Kevin Foley has been published, so sign up early and polish your skills. Keep those bodies in motion this fall as the weather cools and the competition gets hot. Doug Wright, Sun City Sports.
And to view expanded coverage of sports news, check out Doug's monthly show, Sports Done Right. That's our news this week. Thank you all for watching. You can catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to hit like and subscribe. To see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune in to our monthly show, Extra. And for questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. Now check in with us next week for all the news that is in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Joanne Hines.